Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of What Will I Be Watching. This time we are talking about the fall 2025 lineup and the animes that I will be watching through that. So let's go ahead and just get the sequels out of the way. Spy Family is getting a new season. My Hero Academia is getting its final season. Campfire Cooking in Another World with my Absurd Skill is getting another season, and Isekai Quartet is getting another season. I did not particularly care for season 2. It promised to bring us Shield Hero characters, and based on all of the promotion that it got, it seemed like they were going to be the big focus, and they only showed up in they only ever got lines in the first episode and the last episode of the season. After that, they became background characters that didn't do anything. So, I was very disappointed in that. This season is supposed to add Eminence and Shadow characters. So, I really hope that they do more with the I really hope that they do more with the Eminence and Shadow characters, especially between Shadow and Ainz, because Eminence and Shadow and Overlord did have a special collab. I want to say it was I think it was last year, where they had a special collab, where the voice actors for Shadow and Ainz wound up having just a conversation with each other and they were in character. And it was really cool. It was really funny. So I really, really hope that they actually have Shadow and the other characters from Eminence and Shadow actually have purpose. I really don't want a repeat of season 2 where they only only get focus in the first episode and the last episode of the season. If that ends up happening, I'm going to watch the first 4 episodes. And if they only get focus in the first episode and we don't get any focus on them in episodes 2, 3, or 4, I'm done. I'm not going to watch more. So I will drop the series. So anyway, so that's 4 animes, but there are 10 others. There are 10 original animes that are coming out that I'm looking forward to. So going down the list, first we have a rom-com. My best friend's little sister has it in for me. And yeah, it's a rom-com. It's a rom-com. The main dude has a best friend who has a little sister, and the little sister has a crush on him, and is constantly teasing him. So, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. But I do like me a good rom-com. So, let's see. Then next up, may I ask for one final thing? Now, based on what I've seen, for the previews of this, this is another villainess anime, but with a main character who is not afraid to throw hands. Shh. Based on the previews I've seen, it seems like this villainess just straight up punches the guy who calls off their engagement. When it happens. She is violent and will not hesitate to throw hands. So that automatically has me interested. But let's go ahead and read the synopsis real quick. for this one. In the middle of a ball, Scarlett's fiance, Kyle, suddenly calls off their engagement. She's falsely accused of being a bully, and people unfairly call her a villainess. The aristocrats and noble families all denounce her. For years, she had to put up with his abuse and idiocy, but she can't take any more of it. At her wit's end, she asks for one last favor, to give him a good fist in the face. So begins Scarlett's story of revenge against Kyle and his cronies. A fantasy about an elegant yet rebellious fighter who doesn't let anyone take advantage of her. That sounds hilarious. Just straight up brawling. Just straight up going in brawling. That sounds so good. That sounds so funny. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I bet that's gonna be funny. So, next is my status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero's. So, uh, yeah, let's see. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is an isekai. I had to make sure this is the one I was thinking of. I know this is based on a manhwa. This is based on a manhwa, and given how high up it is on the list, the way the list is set up on the website, it lists from most anticipated to least anticipated. So the higher it is on the list, the more anticipated it is. And this is pretty high up on the list. This one is pretty high up on the list. Like you've got a bunch of sequels in the top 5, and then you've got the other two that I just talked about, and the next season, the newest season of Ranma 1/2, the remake, and then it's this. So it's in the top 10 like most anticipated animes of this lineup. So clearly people are looking forward to watching it. So let's go ahead and read the synopsis. Oda Akira is the kind of guy who people forget is even there. His unassuming nature pays off, though, when his entire class is swept away to a fantasy world, and he slips easily into his new role as a silent assassin. Between his suspiciously high starting stats and too many details that don't fit, Akira is sure something is wrong. But digging into royal secrets is a dangerous game, and when Akira uncovers an evil scheme, he also makes a powerful enemy, the very king who brought him to the world, to this world. With the help of the elven spirit medium Amelia, can he find the power to set things right and get his revenge? So, yeah, based on a manhwa, and from everything I've heard, it's from everything I just read and the previews I saw, it looks pretty good. I've heard the manhwa is really good, that it's really popular. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is like. Next is Hero Without a Class. Who even needs skills? Now, I should preface this by mentioning that at the time of this recording, the first episode of this has released. The first episode of this has released as of this recording, and I did watch the first episode. Classes are given at age 10, and the presence or absence of skills, it greatly affects life. Errol, the son of Sword Princess Farah and Magic King Leon, has been branded as classless. But even without a job or skills, Errol believes he can preserved through effort. So basically, um, basically, it's an underdog story. Everyone else has these classes that give them benefits. To whatever their class is. So someone with a swordsman class will automatically be super talented in swordsmanship, and be able to create wind slashes and whatnot with their sword techniques. But he can't do that. He doesn't have the natural talent for it. But he's gonna make it happen anyway through sheer hard work and determination. He's going to get stronger through sheer hard work, and prove himself to be just as strong as anyone with a class. So yeah, it's an underdog story, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm into this. This is nice. So I saw the first episode, and yeah, it's basically exactly what I thought, and yeah, I enjoyed the first episode. I thought it was a good start. So I'm gonna keep watching it. Next is Bukyu na Senpai. Bukyu na Senpai. Kanawa Senpai is considered many things, but smooth is definitely not one of them. Then she meets Kamigawa, her new kohai. He's cute, a little nerdy, and easy to talk to. How will this awkward senpai be able to handle these new feelings? So she is a very awkward and clumsy woman, and it's a rom-com, and they're adults. It's office romance. It's an office romance rom-com, and she's super clumsy and socially awkward, and she's never had a crush on a boy before. And she has a crush on her new kohai, and she has no idea how to talk to him. And I'm like, okay, that's cute. Normally it's the guy who has trouble talking to the girl, the guy who's super socially awkward, and is just trying to find the right words to say to the girl. But yeah, it sounds cute. It sounds cute, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see. Okay, there's 4 left that we have to that we still need to talk about. That's right. Yeah. Tales of Wedding Rings is getting a season 2. Is getting a season 2. I saw the first season, did not particularly care for it, to be honest. But from what I've heard, the manga is not that long, and the first season basically covered half the story. So, I mean, if that's true, if it is just going to be a 2-season show, maybe, since I've already seen the first season, if it is just going to be a 2-season show, then maybe after it's done, I'll binge watch it. Just so I can add it to the list of animes I've completed. So, but I'm not going to watch it while it's airing. Like, if I do end up watching it, it's not going to be till probably until after the dub comes out, so I can just let it play at double speed in the background while I do something else. So I can just listen to it while doing something else. But next up is my gift level 9,999 unlimited gacha. Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, I'm out for revenge. Let's begin the synopsis. When Light is kicked out of the concord of his out of the concord of the tribes, his former comrades instantly turn on him. Light escapes this diabolical act of betrayal by the skin of his teeth, only to find himself in the deepest parts of the abyss, the most dangerous dungeon in the realm. To avoid being eaten by carnivorous monsters, he uses the unlimited gacha, his sole magical skill. But where it previously only produced junk items, this time Mei, a gorgeous level 9,999 fighter in a maid outfit, springs forth. Fast forward 3 years, and Light has carved out his own kingdom in this backwater dungeon, summoning more beautiful level 9,999 warriors to swear absolute fealty to him. Now, a powerful level 9999 overlord himself, Light plans to ascend to the surface and take revenge on his betrayers one by one. Now, I read the manga for this. I haven't read the entire manga, but I read several chapters of the manga of this, and I remember liking it. I remember thinking it was good. I remember liking a lot of the girls that get summoned, thinking that they were all very interesting characters, very pretty, with good personalities. So I'm curious about this. Last time I was really curious about a revenge anime, though. We got Fatal Frame, which I still love the story. And some of the 3D animation looks okay. And I do like a lot of the monster designs. I think the monster designs in that anime are really good. Unfortunately, the pacing, the way it was paced, was not good, and there were certainly times when like it seemed like the animators forgot to animate scenes. So it was passable, but it was not a good series, to be honest. So let's see, what's the next thing? Here we are. Last three. The banished court magician aims to become the strongest. This party doesn't need an incompetent magician who can only use supportive magic. You're fired, Alec. Suddenly, Alec, a court magician who had joined the Crown Prince's party to help him conquer dungeons, was banished from the party. And not just the party, but the Crown Prince's harassment has banished him from the royal palace as well. And a friend from the Magic Academy approached Alec, who was at his wit's end. Hey, Alec, do you want to try to conquer the dungeon with us again? And so, together with the friends he used to party with, Alec begins his second journey in life. This is the adventure story of a former court magician who had been abandoned. 4 years ago, the lasting period of a party of 4 that had been called legendary had gradually spread its name around the world. I don't understand what the purpose of that last sentence is, to be honest. I feel like that should have been the first The first, I feel like that should have been the first sentence. Um, but yeah, basically another banished from the party where another banished from the party type anime, and I enjoy those anime. I enjoy those animes mostly for one thing. I enjoy seeing the person who banished the main character get their comeuppance. Like when everything around them falls apart. And like that look of sheer hatred for the main character and the look of sheer despair they have when everything falls apart around them. Like that moment I love. I love that moment. Seeing them get their comeuppance like that. So yeah. So next is The Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. The synopsis is Takeru Kamishiro is a normal guy with an ordinary office job, but finds himself summoned to another world. Takeru starts his new life in Madius, a world with swords and magic, fully equipped with multiple skills. Not only does he have enhanced physical and amazing magical abilities, but he also the power to search for valuable items. With the cheat skills he has been provided, Takeru starts his new adventure in the new isekai. Okay. So based on the previews for this one and the synopsis, it seems like this is going to be like a slow, kind of a slower, more relaxed one. Where the purpose is going to be just traveling around, like meeting people, making friends, traveling around the world. This, based on the synopsis, it feels like this is the kind of anime where the main character is the world itself. Like there are certain animes where like where the world itself is the main character. And yes, there is a main lead that you are following, but but there's so much world building. That the world itself feels alive, feels like its own character, and it gets so much focus that it feels like the main character itself, and you're just watching the main lead go through the world and experience new things in the world. And it feels like this anime might end up being in that same vein, based on the synopsis and the trailer and the one trailer that I saw. That's the vibe I get. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe I get. And I do enjoy animes like that. It's nice to just have a calm, relaxing anime every now and then. So, and then lastly, Mechanical Marie. Wealthy, handsome, and successful, Arthur Louis Zatis is no stranger to the greed of people. Constantly doubting those around him, he has no faith in humanity. Thus, he makes a request for the perfect maid, a robot maid. However, his butler is unable to acquire such a servant due to technological limitations. So he finds the next best thing. Marie Evans is a former child prodigy in martial arts, known for her lack of expression. Drowning in debt, she readily accepts the offer to be a maid that acts like a robot. While Arthur is often blunt towards humans, he cannot help but dote on his personal robot. In turn, Marie is moved by his drive and consideration towards her. So it's another rom-com, and his butler basically is just like, yeah, here's a robot maid. Yes, she's absolutely, she is definitely a robot maid. She's their newest model. Absolutely. And she just has to pretend to be and she just has to pretend to be a robot. And that's why he's so kind to her, because he thinks that she's not real. So so yeah, I feel like there's gonna be some. I feel like there could be some very good comedy to come from this, with trying to hide the fact that she's a real person. There could be some interesting. There could be some interesting comedy to come from this. But yeah, so that is all of the animes that I intend to. That is all of the animes that I intend to watch. For the fall 2025 seasonal lineup. And let's see here. Let's see here. What do we have? What is currently set for for winter next year? Frieren Season 2. My Hero Academia Vigilantes Season 2. Chained Soldier Season 2. Okay. Alright. So we got a few things to look forward to next week. It seems like we've got a few things to look forward to next year. Looks like we got a couple villainess animes going on. A couple villainous animes going on. A couple romance animes. Looks like we got a Monster Girl anime coming out next year. All right, well, I guess I'll look into all of that, and when we get closer, when we get closer to the new year, I'll end up making another episode. In like a good week or so, I will end up making a video where I talk about the different animes that I watched and what I would rate each of them. So, a few of the animes that I'm currently watching have not actually posted their final episodes yet, so I want to wait for that to happen before I post that video. So, yeah. So, that's gonna be probably probably either next weekend or the weekend after that, a week or two from now, most likely. So currently a lot of the animes have 11 episodes out. There's a couple animes that have that I think are supposed to go on for 13 episodes. I don't know. But when it's all done, I will make that video. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.